4 things I know are true. Mariano Rivera is the greatest player in postseason history, and it ain't close. Only Babe Ruth could have beat Pedro Martinez last night, and he did. If this empire is evil, I don't want to be good, and I'm Max Kellerman.
Ah, would you put a cork in it? It's Around the Horn, the show of competitive banter. Here's Max Kellerman.
Welcome back to the greatest day of my life. Besides that unbelievable Game 7, we'll discuss how the Marlins match up with the Yankees, LeBron's rough night in L.A., and the impact of Hooters on golf, all with our national panel, and here they are. At the Los Angeles Times, it's J.A. Adonde. What do you say, Jay?
Calm down, man.
I don't think I can. At the Denver Post, it's Woody Page.
You and the Yankees can bite me.
At the Dallas Morning News, it's Kevin Blackistone. Hey, Kevin. And sitting in New York after attending the game last night from the Chicago Sun-Times, it's Jay Mariotti.
Curses.
They're every mute button works. Oh, yeah, it does. I just want to see and make sure. Yeah, it worked again. It does. We're the show that scores the argument, and here's how I do it with these joysticks and mute buttons, just to make sure. Yeah, I keep muting Mariotti. I judge these guys on point of view, style, and information. Good answers get 2, great ones 3, and I use the mute button to penalize and direct traffic. We eliminate guys, so a one-on-one showdown determines the winner. Let's make it happen.
It's the first word.
The first words are greatest baseball game of all time? Pedro Martinez and the Red Sox were up 3 on the Yanks with 1 out in the 8th when Derek Jeter doubled. After a Bernie Williams RBI single cut it to 2, Red Sox manager Grady Little decided to leave a tiring Pedro in to face Hideki Matsui and Jorge Posada, both of whom doubled to tie it. 3 innings of scintillating Mariano Rivera later, Aaron Boone left the hugging Red Sox hanging their heads, and Yankee fans everywhere saying, hug this. Guys, do you hang this whole thing on Grady Little? Around the Horn of Jay Mariotti.
Yeah, Grady Little and the Red Sox organization, I mean, they have pandered to Pedro Martinez forever, and it bit them in the butt last night, Max. I mean, face it. I mean, they should have taken him out right there. People in the know realize that Martinez has a shoulder problem. He's thrown a bunch of pitches. His velocity is down. He's losing it in the 8th inning, and their bullpen had allowed 2 runs in 6 games.
Jay, I don't know if his velocity was down. He was throwing 95 suddenly later in the game.
Just generally in this postseason, it's not the same Pedro. You don't have the same reliance quotient on Pedro Martinez as you normally would have. Everybody saw it but Grady Little. Little didn't even have a conversation. It was just, okay, go ahead.
Jay, come on. I mean, this guy is the best pitcher in baseball. This is their opportunity finally to get to the World Series. You're going to yank him out? I mean, the guy was still throwing all right. He was up to, 123 pitches when they finally took him out. You got to ride this guy for all that he was worth. And the other thing is, remember, early in this show, we talked about how this bullpen by committee wasn't going to work. And you know what? The bottom line was he just didn't trust it in this most critical of situations. You got to stick with Pedro, and I'm glad that he did.
Kevin, were you watching the same game? This guy was failing at the end. Of course it's Grady Little. And speaking of hanging this on him, today they should be hanging him by his heels from the Old North Church in Boston. This guy should be fired today. Grady Little had Tim Wakefield, and I know he gave up the winning home run, but he had him ready to go. He had been fooling the Yankees throughout the series, won 2 games. You bring him in the 8th, let him pitch the last 2 innings.
Let him give up the home run, then
get the hell out. Wait, Wakefield instead of Embry or Timlin or Williamson? What are you talking about?
Look what happened when he did bring in Tim Wakefield. There's always too much emphasis on the manager. No manager ever hit a home run to win a game. No manager ever struck anybody out to win a game. You can make your decisions and you go with it. I'd go with the best pitcher that they have. That's Pedro Martinez. He was having a great game up to him, like I told you he would yesterday, Max.
No.
And you got to ride him as long as you can. It's not his fault.
You do not let the inmates run the asylum. That's been the Red Sox problem
the players.
all along.
It's a player's game.
No. In this case, Grady Little's got to be a man and say, Pedro, you're losing it. I'm taking you out of the game.
Jay, you know what? Hold on a second. Kevin, I like your point that the bullpen by committee maybe fails in this situation because there's not the trust there with the manager. Who was the MVP of this game, Kevin? Who was your MVP of this game?
Mariano Rivera, unbelievable. He was his middle man, his setup man, and his closer all in one.
Woody, who was the MVP of the game?
Grady Little. Without Grady Little, the Yankees are sitting home.
Oh, stop it. Jay, MVP.
It's got to be Mariano.
Aaron Boone hit the home run.
Aaron Boone hit the home run. Adonde, MVP?
Francisco Rodriguez like in his performance last night?
Oh, Fred. Look, yeah, Aaron Boone had a big game. Derek Jeter had a very big game. The whole thing, I mean, the unassisted double play he made, he took over that game. But Mariano Rivera, 3 scoreless innings, the greatest postseason player in history. And I have to give a shout out to Babe Ruth. I promised him I would if they wanted it. Next topic. Okay, so it ain't the Cubs and the Red Sox, but America does get its David and Goliath fix when the scrappy Florida Marlins meet the Yankees beginning Saturday night in the Bronx. Florida's payroll is $50 million, less than a third of the Yanks, but don't sleep on those Marlins. They're playing like $180 million right now. Guys, the Marlins are somehow 2-1 underdogs to the Yanks. What do you think of their chances? Around the horn again to Jay Mariotti.
I mean, Kellerman, you should have been with me at Yankee Stadium. The place was hyperventilating. Why? Because it was the World Series. We've already seen the World Series. This is the aftermath. This means nothing. The Marlins have no chance. I might tell you it'd be a good series if Josh Beckett could start game 1, but they used Beckett the other night in Chicago, and now their rotation in Florida is kind of
but the Yankees are in the same position with their rotation. Woody?
It means nothing, Mariotti. What's wrong with you? Of course, it's the World Series, and they've already knocked off the Giants and the Cubs. We're talking about Jack going against the Beanstalk and the Giant. We're talking about Latin America's team. For once, we're going to see an underdog just reach up and grab them by the throat. And yes, you were obnoxious before, Max, but when you see the Yankees lose to the Marlins...
Yeah, when I see the Yankees lose to the Marlins, what? How are they more Latin America's team than the Yankees? Rivera, Posada, Contreras. What are you talking about? Adande.
It's a proximity thing, Max. I mean, come on, they're right there in South Florida. I think the Yankees are going to win. It's not going to be a walkover, though. Florida, who's played better baseball than Florida? Who's been grittier, tougher, more resilient than Florida? They got Pudge Rodriguez just came in knocking in 10 runs in the National League Championship Series. That's a record. Also, I think the Yankees rotation. Florida has a great chance to come in and steal game 1. They use Clemens, Wells. We've seen Wells only threw 6 pitches, but he still had to warm up. And Mariano Rivera threw 48 pitches, 3 innings.
That's
so
great.
I mean, they're going to be wiped out. There's a great chance to come in and steal game 1 and make it a 7-game series.
Let me add a few things here for you, Jay. You know, the Marlins had like the 3rd best defense in the league this year. Absolutely awesome. The Yankees, where were they? Number 21. The other thing is these guys absolutely kill left-handed pitching, which they didn't have to worry about with the Cubs. And now they get it with Pettit and Wells, and that's going to help them out. And I'll tell you something else. Josh Beckett is going to help them because if they falter early, Josh Beckett is going to pitch the 3rd game, and he can get the momentum going.
Okay, Jay, you want to...
Here's the point to make. When a Yankee fan reaches out in Yankee Stadium, he hurts the other team, not his own team. That's the difference.
Woody, hold on. Woody, go ahead.
What's being missed here, though, is for the first time in history, you've got New York playing South New York. You've got the 6th borough. That's Miami. I think you got to see the New York win.
No. Every year, the baseball gods seem to favor a team, and destiny's darling this year does appear to be the Florida Marlins. You get the same feeling watching them as you got watching Anaheim last year, don't you? Don't you? Woody, what do you think? Yes?
Of course.
Okay, here are a couple points. Fire sells next.
In the history of baseball's greatest rivalry, is Bucky Dent still the all-time heartbreaker? Applause. When the weekend's done, will the number in Carolina's loss column be a 1, or will it be round? The Horn!
Buy or sell? It's buy or sell time. Let's keep it moving. First topic. It's been 25 bleeping years since Bucky bleeping Dent put tears in the beers of every Red Sox fan, dead or alive. And 25 years later, we have Aaron Boone, there he is, who won the Yankees the American League pennant with his home run in the bottom of the 11th. Buy or sell Aaron Boone's homer as the greatest moment in the history of the Red Sox-Yankees feud. Adande.
I'm selling. You still got to go with Bucky Dent. I mean, Aaron Boone had 24 home runs this year. He had 50 in the past 2 years. That's more than Bucky Dent had his entire career. Bucky Dent hit 5 home runs in '78. The unlikeliness of it all, that's what made it so great.
Okay, Woody?
I'm selling this. This is not in the World Series. You got to go back to 1949. I know you guys don't remember it, but that was a nice fall day when the Yankees, Jerry Coleman, hit a double that beat the Red Sox that year, and I think that was a lot more important.
Yeah, that
you
was
would know you were there.
That was on his 40th birthday. What are you talking about, Kevin?
I'm gonna buy this. Just because, the Red Sox would never get closer than they got last night. I mean, they should have had this game, and for Boone to do that, that's just a dagger right in the heart. Twisted the whole thing.
Sure was. Jay?
No, you got to sell this. Let me give the Red Sox a little props here. I mean, at least they battled and fought to the very end of the 11th inning. See, Bucky Dent symbolized in 1978 a big choke job, a 14-game choke job. So sell.
Wait, so who says Dent? Let me see a show of hands. Who says Dent? Who says Dent? Are you kidding? It's the 7th inning. You ever hear Bill White's call of that game? They're not even that excited. This was by far the biggest moment in the history of the Yankees. For the American League pennant, Game 7, bottom of the 11th.
49, Williams, DiMaggio, don't you...
Next topic. That chipping sound you heard in L.A. Thursday night was paint coming off the rims at the Staples Center, where LeBron James went 4 for 18 from the field in the Cavs' preseason loss to the Lakers. L.A. backed off the rookie and watched his preseason shooting drop to 29%. Buy or sell now is the time to start worrying about LeBron's shooting problems. Woody?
Not at all. I'm not buying this for 1 minute. He had a great dunk last night. He showed his passing ability. He's an 18-year-old kid playing in the place where he's dreamed of playing since he was 2 years old, the Staples Center.
All right.
Staples Center wasn't around.
Kevin?
Oh, no, I got to sell that. I'm not going to worry about a teenager's shooting ability in preseason of his first season in the league. I mean, how long did it take Magic Johnson before he finally got sort of a jump shot? Give him time. It'll be fine.
No, are you kidding? You got to buy this. The NBA is banking its entire marketing campaign on LeBron because of Kobe's situation. I've been telling you the kid can't shoot. Kellerman, if he wouldn't have been hanging out with Jay-Z all summer and been shooting in the driveway, he'd be okay.
Adonde.
Calm down, Jay. He'll be fine. You got to sell this right now. I mean, he's got plenty of time to develop. We've seen Shaquille O'Neal improve his free throw shooting. You don't think LeBron's going to be able to improve his jump shot? And in the meantime, he's making great passes, great dunks, entertaining the fans in L.A. He'll be fine.
You were there, weren't you, J.A.?
I was there. It looked great.
Extra points for actually being there.
For
During the
being
Yankees,
there.
Red Sox goes, so you get muted. Next topic. One more thing before we move on. Game 7, Red Sox-Yankees. Roger Clemens struggles. Pedro dominates. The Red Sox lead it. Grady Little makes a pivotal decision, and the Yanks come back. Then an extra inning bomb wins it to extend the curse. Buy or sell the ALCS Game 7 as the greatest baseball game ever, all things considered, Blackstone.
No, I can't. I have to sell that. And the reason is because it's not Game 7 of the World Series. Give me 2001, just a few years ago, we had the great pitching matchup between Schilling and Clemens and with big long guy coming in, the big unit coming in the middle. I mean, that's unbelievable.
And Rivera blows a save, sure. Mariotti?
Right, exactly.
No, I'm buying Kevin. They have to be traditional rivals. Arizona Yankees weren't. Braves Minnesota weren't. These are the great rivals in sports. The stadium is still shaking as I speak. I'm going to buy it.
Adonde.
I'm selling. Things get overhyped when they happen in New York. I mean, and the Yankees have been part of some great games. How about the game in Seattle? Ken Griffey running around the bases, sliding home. And Max, I did watch the game last night. They were showing it on the big screen at Staples Center and also the small monitors along press row.
Yeah, but that was Game 5 of the division series, and it wasn't at Yankee Stadium, and the Yankees lost the game. Woody.
You guys, I'm always having to straighten you out. Of course I'm selling this. I can give you a list as long as my age.
Give me three. Give me three.
Okay, Kirk Gibson.
Oh,
Number
game
one. Bill Mazeroski. Bill Mazeroski
yeah,
walked off to win the World Series.
Okay, that's legit.
Number 3, 1956 World Series. Perfect game against the Dodgers. Whitey Ford against Sandy Koufax in 1962.
Okay. These are all legitimate candidates. However, it is Yankees-Red Sox. I think this game is right up there with the Mazeroski game. Jim Leyritz's home run against the Braves. Come on, there are lots of big games here. And you know what really won at Yankee Stadium? They got last licks. Whichever team had last licks in that game was going to win. Next topic. The 5-0 Carolina Panthers, fresh off their last-second win over the then-undefeated Indianapolis Colts, host Steve McNair and the Tennessee Titans on Sunday. Carolina will have to shut down the suddenly potent Tennessee offense led by McNair, who dropped 421 yards and 3 TDs on Houston last week. Buy or sell the Panthers staying undefeated versus the Titans, Mariotti?
No, I'm selling. This will be a game of quarterbacks. Eventually, Jake Delhomme is going to have to win a game. He's not going to beat the MVP of this league right now, Steve McNair.
Okay. Adonde?
Yeah, I'm selling. One of these days, the Panthers are going to wake up and realize they're not the 72 Dolphins or even the 85 Bears. I like the fact that the Titans, even though they don't have the great running game, they're still controlling the ball with Steve McNair. He's only thrown 1 interception in the last 4 games. Great rushing defense as well.
Woody?
I'm buying this. I think Carolina's this year Destiny Darlings. They're the Marlins of the National Football League. They're on a roll. They got Stephen Davis, who's running against a defense that's not that strong against the run. I like them at home against the Titans.
Okay, fair. Blackstone.
Yeah, I gotta buy this too. I like them at home against the Titans too. That's a big deal. And Stephen Davis right now is as much the MVP in this league as is Stephen McNair. I mean, it's unbelievable.
Yep.
If he was still with the Redskins, believe me, they would be a 5-1 team rather than a 3-3 team.
Maybe. You know what? McNair might be a good MVP choice too, though. Let's see. Blackstone. Oh boy, he almost had you, Woody, and Adonde. Wow, it was close scoring today. Out of bounds is next.
Coming up, Dante's back in Minnesota. But will he be enough to stop a herd of onrushing Broncos? Plus, Cubs fans and Sox fans are a pitiable lot. But which cursed group will be the first to turn their frowns upside down? The Horn! Get it, Smile? It's around the horn, where after 2 rounds, here's how they stand. Woody Page has 24. J.A. Adonde has 24. Jay Mariotti has 25. And once again, Kevin Blackstone had too much information expressed too clearly. Right now, it's out of bounds.
Hey, Woody, you said Tennessee couldn't stop the run. We looked it up. They're 4th against the run. What do you have to say for yourself?
It's my opinion, and that's
This is my opinion. It's out of bounds where it's all inbounds. First topic. Our favorite blowhard Chicago Sun-Times columnist used valuable column inches today to lament the dueling curses of the Cubs and the Red Sox. Disembodied voice, what do you write?
Just as Cubdom added another surreal twist to its torturous history, so did the Red Sox. Obviously, there is a black market partnership between the Billy Goat and the Bambino. I mean, come on, Max.
They pay you for that, Jay? They actually pay you? Guys, which team will break its curse first? The Red Sox or the Cubs? Mariotti, how do you talk?
All right, financially speaking here, the Red Sox have a $120 million payroll, and the Cubs are still back in the Stone Ages at $78 million. Until you cut that gap, why would it be the Cubs here? They have a big decision with Kerry Wood right now. Do you trade him in the offseason, or do you sign him for, say, $100 million? It's not like the Tribune Company to spend a lot of money, so they're at the brink here. They have to make some big decisions. With the Cubs
you on the set of MSNBC? We're not talking about economics here. This is sports. What is it about you? Do you break your ankles getting on and off that bandwagon all the time about the Cubs? Let me tell you what the Cubs need. They need to sign Jay Payton, who's going to be a free agent, to get some more home run production. They need Jose Jimenez as a closer, and they need to add one more starter, and the Cubs are right there again, guys.
They need Jay Payton for his home run production? What do you... Adonde?
The Red Sox are going to end it first because, you know what, at least they get to the World Series. They got there twice in my lifetime, 1975 and 1986. You're only a ground ball or 2 away from winning it all. The Cubs, they're cursed. The Billy Goat curse said they're not going to make it to the World Series. How are you going to win one when you can't even make it?
Yeah, the Red Sox hired Bill James. They're completely sabermetrically run right now, and they have a $120 million budget. Of course they're going to break the curse first.
Wood and Pryor, guys.
It may not be Wood.
It's going to be Mariotti and Adonde in the showdown. We'll see. Next topic. The University of Washington men's golf team won't play in the Hooters Collegiate Match Play Championship Tournament next month.
Hello.
The decision was made by Marie Tweet, Senior Associate for Sports Programs and Student Services at UW. Tweet says she declined an invitation to the tournament in part because of the image of Hooters. Is UW stance noble, pointless, or both? Adonde?
Oh, it's ridiculous. It's like these people that turn down a chance to be on the Play Ball American team on moral grounds. Chill out, go to the mansion, have some of the chocolate-covered strawberries and relax. And she also cited, given the current climate, we shouldn't be going to the Hooters tournament. The current climate, as you be watching MTV, these Hooters girls are dressed in tuxedos compared to what these people are wearing on the videos now.
Right.
Let's go play some golf.
Like this. I like this call, not because of the morality angle, because the chicken wings are not any good anymore.
Okay.
If you ever pick one of these up, they drip on you. The scenery is always nice, but the chicken wings suck.
Yeah, chicken wings not good. The scenery's a little overrated, too, let's face it, Jay. Go ahead, Woody.
Mariotti's hanging out at Hooters all the time? What is that all about? This is the most stupid response I've ever heard. We're talking about middle America porn here, guys. We're talking about tight orange jogging shorts. We're talking about white T-shirts and sneakers and socks. We're talking about the great fish sandwich, Mariotti, that groper sandwich.
But you know what, Woody, when you say say the dumbest response you've ever heard, and you consider some of your responses, though you're knowledgeable in the subject, I can't go with that. You're eliminated. Hey, Jay, you're on the cold pizza set right now, aren't you?
Yeah, I'm trying to meet Kit, and I also hear the host name is Jay. He's getting all the ads. I want the ads.
How's it look over there? How's the set look? That's what I want to know. How's the set look?
Its set looks beautiful.
Very jealous you're sitting in New York. That's it. Showdown's next.
Coming up, you notice how no one talks about the curse of the Astros? Well, maybe that's because Beyonce's from H-Town. The Horn!
Coming up on SportsCenter the day after, how Boston recovers. Can the Yankees cover the hill in Game 1? Who's really leading the Marlins? And is Dante's return bad for the Vikings? SportsCenter, 6 o'clock Eastern.
Showdown time. But first, does anybody voice?
Oh, yeah.
What did we miss?
Well, Darian Hatcher's out 4 to 6 months with a bum knee from the Red Wings. And every Red Sox fan in America called, Max.
Yes?
Would you please wipe the smirk off your face?
1918.
Ah.
Stop it.
First topic, a Big Ten showdown at the Horseshoe. 8th-ranked Ohio State hosts 9th-ranked Iowa. The Buckeyes lost to Wisconsin last week, their first loss in 20 games. The 5-1 Hawkeyes, meanwhile, have not beaten Ohio State in their last 7 meetings. Who will win? Iowa or Ohio State? 15 seconds each. Mariotti, go.
Well, it's time to purge the Ohio State University from the National College Football Consciousness, Kellerman. They can't run the football, and they're facing the 11th-ranked defense nationally at Iowa. Kirk Ferentz is a terrific coach. He'll be in the NFL before you know it.
Dave, stop hating on the Ohio State University just because you got hit with pepper spray the last time you were there. They haven't lost back-to-back conference games since 1999. They got the wake-up call they needed last game. Also, Iowa, they've been racking up all their big wins at home. They went on the road. They lost to Michigan State. They're going to lose at Ohio State this week.
Yeah, they lose once in 20 games. It's not going to be twice in 2 suddenly. Next topic. Denver will start Steve Berline in place of injured Jake Plummer when the 5-1 Broncos visit the 5-0 Vikings on Sunday. Dante Culpepper, who hasn't played since injuring his back against the Lions, returns for Minnesota. Who's going to win? The Vikings or Broncos? 15 seconds each. And Dante, go.
It's the Vikings, Max. You said it right off the top. Denver will start Steve Berline. That's all I need to know. Dante Culpepper's back. I think he can plug anybody, maybe even Steve Berline in the Vikings offense right now, the way they've been rolling. Randy Moss, 6 touchdowns in his first 5 games. You saw what they did with Gus Frerotte. Now they got Dante back. They're going to win.
Well, you know, you're right here, but you're missing the point here. It's that they have nobody to defend Randy Moss. They're just going to heave the ball up in the Metrodome, and it's going to be an explosive game for the Viking offense. Plus, let me give some props to George O'Leary. Put this on your resume. The guy is a good defensive coach.
Jay, you finished second every day this week. You're the Red Sox of Around the Horn. It's a sweep. 15 seconds. Go ahead, Dante.
Speaking of the Red Sox, I can't tell you how much immense pleasure I saw watching them lose again. I could give less than a Hootie Johnson about the Yankees and all their championships, but I hate Boston and everything about Boston. I only wish they had lost that game at home so we could see shots of miserable, unhappy Red Sox fans the way we were subjected to with Cubs fans the other night.
What a brilliant use of FaceTime. That's going to do it, folks. On a 71.5-hour break. See you Monday Around the Horn. Enjoy the World Series. I know I will.
Around the Horn is a presentation of ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports. For up-to-the-minute sports information, log on to ESPN.com.
Thanks for alienating me.
Pardon the interruption, but I'm Mike Wilbon. Tony, it's our 2nd anniversary, our cotton anniversary. So what did you get me?
I'm Tony Kornheiser, and I got you a thong.
Where is it?
I'm wearing.
That's nasty, dude. That's very nasty. It's not funny, okay? It's just nasty.
It is fun. Nasty.
Nasty.
It's also fun. Welcome to PTI, boys and girls. In today's episode, Wilbon and I yap about a whole new chapter in the tortured history of the Boston Red Sox, and Grant Hill joins us to talk about his prospects of playing ever again. We start with baseball. Wilbon, you might think that Boston fans would be screaming Aaron bleeping Boone for sending their Red Sox out of the American League Championship Series with an 11th inning home run last night, but instead they've turned on one of their own, manager Grady bleeping Little, who left a gassed Pedro Martinez in the game in the 8th inning rather than call on his suddenly dependable bullpen. Wilbon, did Grady Little blow the game for the Red Sox?
I'm afraid so, Tony. I was watching this game last night, and I am screaming after the 7th inning about having somebody warmed up and ready to go. And then, when they start to hit him in the 8th. 7 innings is all Pedro owes you with that kind of tension and that kind of pressure. I'm screaming, get him out. Your bullpen's given up 1 run in the last 15 2/3 innings of postseason play. Get him out.
I thought Dusty Baker made a mistake when he left Mark Pryor in Game 6 in the Cubs series.
Okay.
I think Grady Little made a worse mistake. Here's what I think you do.
Because Dusty didn't have a bullpen.
Here's what I think you do. Well, Pedro's been pitching on 4 days rest. He's been going over 100 pitches. He's a smaller guy than Pryor by a lot. You go out there, you literally put your arms around Pedro, and you walk him. You don't stay there while the new pitcher comes in. You walk him to the dugout so even the Yankee fans will clap. Because right now, the Boston Red Sox would still be drinking champagne if he had made that move. See, these are the Yankees, and they can come back.
Just like Pryor, when he's getting hit like that hard in the 8th, he's just run out of gas. He's got you to where you want to be.
Giambi hit him hard in the 7th, right? Hit him hard in the 7th. Jeter hit him hard in the 8th. Bernie hit him hard in the 8th. You got to get him.
Had to take him out. Got to get him. While Grady Little is on a very, very hot seat tonight, Joe Torre avoided getting burned, even though he made some potentially risky moves that paid off big for the Yankees. Torre dropped a struggling Jason Giambi to 7th in the batting order. Cha-ching! 2 home runs.
Right.
He brought in Mike Mussina from the pen for the first time in Mussina's career. Cha-ching! 3 scoreless innings. And Torre leaned on Mariano Rivera for 3 innings, not 1, 3 to close it out. Cha-ching again. Series MVP. Maybe your boy, the boss, Tony, will say something nice now about his skipper. How about that?
2 other moves I want to talk about. He went and decisively got Roger Clemens before the game was completely out of hand. He kept in contact with the Red Sox. He also started Enrique Wilson, this was risky, at third base, who immediately, because he's a better hitter against Pedro, who immediately made a terrible throw that led in a run, I believe, in the 2nd inning. That left him with Boone on the bench.
That's right.
He was able to go to Boone against Wakefield and win the game. The man in this whole thing was Mike Mussina, who came on for the Yankees like Josh Beckett came on in a critical situation for Florida.
A starter unused to coming in that role. I'll give you that.
With nobody out and 2 on, strikes out a guy, gets a double play ball to Derek Jeter. Big time move.
So now, is your boy going to be a man? Is he going to be a man and say something nice about his manager?
Let me tell you something.
Great.
He has already said nice things about Torre. But the constant tension there, at some point, Joe Torre is going to turn around and say, it's been nice. I'm out of here.
Oh, now you're where I was at the beginning of this season when I told you he would walk.
Well, I don't know when it's going to be. But Torre has been with these guys a long time. They trust him. More importantly, he trusts them.
And he's earned the right not to be second.
And so now we move on to the World Series no sentimentalist wanted to see. The perennial champion Yankees against the complete party-pooping Marlins, who knocked the Cubs out of what should have been their first World Series in 58 years. It's the team with the best record in baseball against the team with some of the lowest fan support in baseball. It almost seems unfair, but I don't think it is, which is why I make the Marlins the favorite right now. And Wilbon, if you had any sense, you'd agree with me.
Now, Tony, I'm a Cub fan. I am blinded by the magic of the New York Yankees, by the uniforms, by Yankee Stadium, by everything the Yankees are in October. They are royalty in sports in America.
They're all that.
I'm blinded by it. And let me tell you something. Unlike you, okay, I thought the Marlins were a good team going into the playoffs. I thought they were a better team than the Cubs. They are a fine team with no holes.
The Yankees are everything you think they are, but right now they got nobody who can throw the ball. Mussina came in on no rest and threw 3 innings in relief. Mariano Rivera can't go in Game 1 at all. I don't know if he can go in Game 2. Wells is out of rotation right now. Clemens and Pettit just pitched yesterday and the day before yesterday.
How many innings did Wells pitch? Wells is back in the rotation. Suck it up. It's October.
I think the Yankees will be fortunate, and I think it is necessary for them to just win one in New York and get back to New York down 3-2.
What's wrong with
Marlins
that?
Are good.
They couldn't do that? They haven't been in that situation before?
Are good. Pudge Rodriguez, Jeff Conine playing great.
You're preaching to the choir after telling me the Cubs had to win.
They're good. Marlins are good.
This just in. Tony, a consolation game would attract more interest perhaps in the World Series, at least this year. The Cubs and Red Sox pushed television ratings to historic highs before they both bowed out after being 5 outs from the World Series. The Red Sox took some big swings at the evil empire before ultimately being crushed by their arch rival. The Cubs, meanwhile, crashed in a way that was unspeakably Cub-like. Fans of both those teams are quite literally in mourning. So who's got it worse this week, Tone? Red Sox fans or Cub fans?
Well, I'm sitting across from a Cub fan, and I believe Cub fans have it worse because it is now possible that they think, as I know you think, I will never in my lifetime see the Cubs get to a World Series. This was the best chance they had, up 3-1. Even up 3-2, coming home with their two best pitchers. The Red Sox lost to a team that had beaten them, not decisively, finished ahead of them in the same division. The Red Sox had to win 2 at Yankee Stadium. The Cubs had it on their racket.
And only had to win 1. I think, though, there's something about, I'm not going to disagree with the words you said. I think there's something about losing to your arch rival that makes you just, it's unspeakably
Then why did you
horrible.
tell me that attendance at work in Chicago yesterday after Game 7 was 20%?
There's nobody there because we're in mourning.
That's
you think
what I'm saying.
all I'm just wondering about losing to your arch rival.
I don't think Red Sox fans are in mourning because Red Sox fans knew what they were going up against.
And we didn't. Cubs fans didn't know that.
Cubs fans had to think when it was the Marlins. They had to think, we can win
Did
this.
I think that?
Until game 6, you thought that. Until Game 6,
until about the 8th inning, when you called my house and you jinxed my team by saying it was over.
We're taking a break. When we come back, a candid conversation with Grant Hill about his uncertain future in pro basketball. And later, should Donovan McNabb sit this weekend?
Are we still on this? Are we still on this? Huh? Leave my man McNabb alone.
Pardon the interruption. Presented by New Smirnoff Ice Triple Black. Triple filtered for a crisp, clean bite. And in part by Gillette Mach 3 Turbo for the closest shave with less irritation, even against the grain.
Tonight at 7, NFL Live. Or on the Deuce, the Baseball Tonight World Series Special. At 7:30, EA Sports NFL Matchup. At 8, the 2003 Web Gem Awards, brought to you by the Baseball Tonight team. Or a Conference USA tilt as Tulane battles Louisville. And at 9, Friday Night Fights. October has it all on ESPN and ESPN2 tonight.
Another NBA season is set to begin, and once again, the league may be without one of its brightest stars. We're joined by Grant Hill of the Orlando Magic. And Grant, I guess we should start right there. Will you play in the NBA this year?
I hope so. I really hope so, Tony. I'd like to get back out there and get out there and help my team. I've recently had a checkup at Duke University with my doctor, and things are progressing well, and he feels pretty confident that I'll be able to get back out on the court at some point this season.
This must be enormously frustrating because, I mean, this is your chosen profession, and it's not for lack of trying that you can't get out there.
Yeah, it's been real tough, and it just seems like we're that movie with Bill Murray a few years ago, Groundhog Day. I feel like I've been going through that. I've experienced that. But hopefully, like the movie, I can eventually get through that day and get through this particular period in time. It's been a struggle, but this is my last go around, and I've worked hard. I've had some unfortunate circumstances, but I feel good now about the level of care, about the diagnosis, and just the direction we're going, and we'll see what happens.
Let me just follow with one thing on this. When you said this is my last go-round, are you thinking about giving it up?
Well, no. I mean, it's weird when I spent early part of my career thinking about sort of life after basketball, and for the last 3 years, all I've been thinking about is trying to get back on the court, back in the game, and if things don't work out this time around, no, I think somebody is trying to tell me something. It'll be time to move on. But I'm gearing up to try to get back and prepare myself to play either this season or if we can't get this season, maybe next season. And I still want to play. I'm still young. I'm younger than you guys. I'm young in terms of basketball. And I still feel like I have a few more years left in this body.
Grant, I want to move discussion back to Duke for a minute and talk about Jay Williams, who obviously you're very familiar with, and his tragic accident this summer was going to leave him most likely off the court at least for a year. Have you talked to Jay? How's he doing? Do you speak with him frequently and advise him?
I have talked to Jay. I went sort of off of the reports that I was reading after the accident, and it looked pretty bad, and I had a chance to go down to see Jay when I had one of my checkups recently. And he's in really good spirits. Of course, the main thing with him is the nerve situation. He's having some nerve problems, but he wants to prove people wrong. He wants to get back out there on the court, and he's extremely motivated. He's in a good environment. He did have a rough rookie season, but I think he's learned a lot, of course, from the season and, of course, from the accident. And if the nerves can fire back on, he'll be able to get back out there and return. And so hopefully he'll be able to do that. But he's actually been pretty good for me in the sense that, you know, he's been inspiring, his attitude, his determination. I have an ankle problem. If it heals, great. If it doesn't heal, I can still continue on and have a normal, productive, active lifestyle. But in his situation, it's a little bit more serious. So it puts things in perspective for me. But being around him and seeing his attitude has been great for me in my recovery.
Grant, we can't help but think, when we think about your situation the last couple of years, Jay Williams, Bobby Hurley. I mean, it's such a proud and incredibly successful tradition in the last 25 years at Duke University of men's basketball. And yet you guys have had these tragic, from unfortunate to tragic circumstances. Do you talk about that with each other, with Coach Krzyzewski? Does it come up at all in conversation? Well, a little bit. I actually saw Bobby Hurley recently. He now works for the Philadelphia Sixers as a scout. And he was down here in Orlando, and he was able to talk to me a little bit about some of the things that he went through and sort of the mental games and trying to come back and trying to sort of compare yourself to where you were prior to your injury, or in his case, his accident. So he and I were able to discuss that a little bit. Once again, his accident was was definitely life-threatening. Mine's not. I look at it as a lot more serious. But yeah, it has been a little bit unfortunate for us Dukies, and I just hope that at least in my case and in Jay Williams' case, we can get back out there and prove people wrong and prove that we still have basketball left in us. But yeah, for the three of us, it has been a little difficult, at least in our professional careers.
I certainly can't ask you questions to speak for either Bobby Hurley or Jay Williams, but in your case, do you still feel every day like a member of this Orlando team? Or do you feel that there's some sort of invisible wall out there that you just can't crack through and can't have those same relationships on a daily basis with the teammates?
Good question, Tony. You know, unless you go through it, it's really hard to describe. But I think any injured athlete, you never feel like you're a part of the team. You can be at every game, you can be at every practice, you can sit in on pregame speeches, shoot-arounds. But unless you're out there on the court, you're actively in the trenches with the guys, you don't feel like you're a part of the team. My teammates have been great. They've been supportive. They've tried all they can in terms of trying to keep me involved and keep me a part of the team. But the main thing is you got to get out there on the court or on the field and be in the mix, be one of the fellas. And I haven't been able to do that consistently for the last 3 years. And that's the one thing I think you miss the most. Of course, the competition, of course, the camaraderie. But just being one of the guys, you know, and being out there on the field with them and going to battle with them day in and day out. That's the thing that I really, truly miss the most.
Grant Hill sounding like an elder statesman, Will Vaughn. We're very impressed with that. Thank you, Grant.
Thanks, Grant.
Grant Hill,
guys.
boys and girls, we're taking a break, but when we come back, Will Vaughn will say something totally unsupportable, and I will attack him. You know how we play this game.
Long Island's a great place.
That's very supportive. It's time to get ready for Sunday's games with the creature from the film vault, Ron Jaworski. There's the music. All right, Jaws, let's start with Donovan McNabb. Some Philadelphia columnists are saying that he should sit and he should rest. Is there anything on film that you see that persuades you that they're right?
Well, first of all, you got to understand Donovan McNabb is hurt right now. He has an injured thumb, and the leg that he broke last year is bothering him. So I think you have to give him a longer leash in those regards. I don't believe you benched your starting quarterback, a guy that has taken you 2 NFC championship games this early. I think he needs to have more time to play through it. But there will come a time where I believe Andy Reid is going to have to make a decision. If Donovan is hurt, he should not play. As well as if he doesn't get out of this slump, when do you have to make a change to spark your football team?
Well, Jaws, besides the injured thumb, is there anything else that has changed from the successful McNabb to the struggling Donovan McNabb we see now?
Well, Mike, I've always believed the key to consistent play at the quarterback position is proper mechanics. Now, Donovan has never been a very accurate thrower. His career passing percentage completions only about 56%. But he certainly has struggled with his mechanics this year. And I think it all starts there. I think he has to get back to the basics of plant, step, and throw the football. When I look at the tapes, I see too many of those breakdowns in the fundamental areas. And I think what you have to do is practice, practice, and practice some more. Repetition till you do it perfect.
The buzzword, Jaws, is overrated. So let's take Rush Limbaugh out of this for a second. But is it possible that Donovan McNabb, at least this year, is being overrated by the Eagles?
No, absolutely not. I think if you look at Donovan McNabb through his career, he probably got more credit than he deserved when the team was winning. Now he's getting too much blame when the team is losing. But, you know, in Philadelphia, everyone is always looking for that superstar. I think back a few years ago when Bobby Hoying put together 3 or 4 good games together, he was ready to go to Canton to be enshrined. I think the people in Philadelphia are just looking for someone to hang on to as a superstar.
Because they haven't had one since you, Jaws. That's the reason.
Exactly right, Tony.
Jaws, let's move west a little bit to St. Louis, which is playing well again, at least reasonably well. Is Mark Bulger that good, or would any quarterback in that system, Jaws, work, or is it more like sort of like the Denver running back situation?
Well, I love what Mike Martz did on Monday night against Atlanta. He protected Mark Bulger. It was incredible. I went through the game tape of 66 snaps. 31 times the Rams had 2 players in the backfield, 2 running backs in the backfield to run or block in the passing game. When they ran the football with those 31 times, they ran 18 times for 59 yards. But when they threw it, they completed 9 of 13 for 175 yards and 1 touchdown. Mike Martz thought protection first. What a novel idea. It gave Bulger time to throw the football down the field, and they had those explosive plays. Now balance is coming back to their offense. I love what Mark said on Monday night. I think you'll continue to see that balance in the Rams offense.
You hate that, don't you, Wilbon?
Running the football is balance. You know that's music to my ears.
He's praising Martz, Wilbon.
Jaws,
and he'll stay healthy, too.
Let's talk about the Panthers and Titans for a second. The game I think is the most attractive game of the weekend. Steve McNair just passed for 400-plus yards last week. And when he came out of college, where I saw him at Jackson State, he was Alcorn State. He was Air McNair.
Get it right, pal.
He was Air McNair. And all of a sudden, for 8, 9 seasons, he was something else. They were handing the ball off. They went to a more conservative plan. What took so long to allow him to air it out again?
Well, I think when you look at the philosophy of Jeff Fisher, it's always been play good defense and pound the ball with Eddie George. Well, since Eddie George's ability has begun to diminish, they realize what a prize they have in Steve McNair. He now is the best quarterback in the National Football League. When I broke down the tape last week, I saw a vertical passing game. When you have a Derek Mason, why not go down the field? They used to be a dink and dunk offense, throwing the ball to Frankie Wycheck and, you know, possession type of passing, give it to Eddie George. But what I see now is an offensive line that can protect in the passing game. I'm seeing the 7-step drop from Steve McNair, the ball going down the field. There is not a quarterback in the league right now seeing the field as well as Steve McNair, and boy, he is throwing accurately.
Who do you like in that game? That's a big game. Who do you like?
Yeah, the game is in Carolina, and Carolina's playing terrific. And by the way, I love what John Fox did last week against Indianapolis. They fell behind in the game. They stayed with the blueprint, the game plan. They ran the ball 31 times in the second half for 169 yards. I know you love that, but they also got some big plays from Jake Delhomme on the passing game. But I think clearly this is the strength of the Titans right now, throwing the football, the strength of Carolina running the football. You know I always believe in the passing game. I think Tennessee is going to win this one.
Thank you, George.
Thanks,
we got to send you back to the vault now.
I'm going.
We're taking a break so Wilbon can comb his hair. That's a joke, boys and girls. But we'll be back in a minute.
If I grew hair, I got more than you. You want to bet? You want to throw down now with that bet?
Pardon the interruption. Presented by New Smirnoff Ice Triple Black. Triple filtered for a crisp, clean bite. And in part by Adidas Forever Sport.
So, Wilbon, that was pretty good, huh? Ron Jaworski and Grant Hill?
It was. Grant Hill has one of the most extensive collections of African-American art in the country on a 7-city tour at the National Gallery of Art. Why don't you drop by and get a little culture? You drop by, huh?
Ooh. Happy 65th birthday, Evil Knievel. Okay? I have to say I'm stunned that Evil reached 65. I thought he'd go down into the Snake River Canyon in 1974. He's jumped fountains and buses on his motorcycle, broke loads of bones. He's completely nuts.
You know, people watched him hoping he would crash. You don't believe that. I know. Because you want to take the high road and be a phony.
Speak to my best
it's like NASCAR races. Why do people watch that stuff?
I don't think they hope
they'll see crashes.
Happy anniversary to us. On this day 2 years ago, this disaster began. Some predicted the show would last only 3 weeks, but I was wrong. But Wilbon, let me say to you right now, I couldn't have done this without you, but for the right money, I'd happily try.
You didn't want to try. You said the show was going to be canceled before Christmas.
Right.
Now you're crowing. You're taking all the credit.
Happy trails, Don Zimmer. You say you're done with the Yankees after the World Series. You told the New York Daily News, quote, "This is one," rhymes with glass bowl. They don't have to worry about being fired. I won't be back. I'm a human being, and I ain't been treated like one in 11 months, unquote.
Why don't you just bum rush Steinbrenner, huh? Well, I'll tell you this. If Torrey comes back, I know you don't think he will, Zim will come back.
Zim will be with Torrey.
Of course.
Time to find out what we messed up. Stat
All started when Steinbrenner took Zim's car away in spring training. You allude to it. Game 1 of the series, Wells versus Brad Penny. Then for the Yankees, probably Mussina Pettit-Clemens. For the Marlins, Willis, Beckett, Redmond.
How are they going to have enough time for their arms to heal?
You got nobody. You got Whitey Ford coming in to pitch for the Yankees.
That would be a good move. We're running out of show. We go straight to the big finish. Here we go.
Let's do it.
Marcus Williams is suing your boy, Bill Romanowski, for punching him in training camp. Are you surprised?
He hired a lawyer. What was he going to do besides sue him? He knew he was suing him. Sapp and Strahan, listen to this, are doing a show on the NFL Network where they go back and forth on a lot of issues. Think it'll work?
Let me ask you something.
What?
Which one's going to be the white guy? Which one's going to be the white guy? LeBron missed every jumper from beyond 15 feet against the Lakers last night. Your thoughts?
Maybe he's not yet Michael Jordan as you haven't been.
No,
Mr. LeBron, PR agent.
Kobe.
Midnight Madness starts tonight. Are you crunked?
Am I what?
You crunked.
Is that, you think that gives you street cred?
I already got street cred.
Oh, please. Pam Anderson is boycotting KFC for cruelty to chickens. Your reaction?
She's to boycott them implants. That's what she ought to do.
Exactly right. We're out of time. We'll try and do better next time. I'm Tony Kornheiser.
And I'm Mike Wilbon. Have a great weekend. Sports Center is next. What's the buzz in Boston the day after?